Hey witches, it's Jamie back with another video on tarot. So today is really about a story. So the story that I want to tell you today is really how tarot sort of got to the US, how it became a big deal, and why the Waite-Smith tarot is one of the most well-known and reprinted decks ever. Tarot went from being a pack of playing cards 600 years ago into something today that we actually use for spiritual and intuitive work. In the 14th and 15th century, card games, which were painted pieces of wood that had pictures on them, and it was sort of like a game of, what was that game? MASH, where you did a couple of things, crossing things out. I don't remember MASH exactly, but I know it was a game that got played in elementary school. And with MASH, it really was just a game of chance on what your future would look like. So the upper echelon of peoples, the nobles, royalty, whoever could actually afford to have these cards in print, because this was a luxury item back then, they sat around playing card games together and deciding or predicting or foretelling what somebody's future might turn out to look like. And so as you can imagine, they were not that interested in everything turning out okay. They added a lot of drama to the cards. So the pictures that were on those original cards showed dramas. They showed dramas of all kinds. They even showed old leaders or people in charge. They had old popes, the current pope, so that this could sort of dictate the story of somebody's life as they played this game. And it allowed them to imagine a future that is not yet unfolded. The oldest complete deck in the world is actually housed in Milan, Italy, and it's the Sola Busca. Sola Busca, which Sola means one, and Busca is the family that own the cards, and it is a complete 78 deck tarot. I'll make sure to put a link below if you guys want to go check that out, because the images are fantastic. Pamela Coleman Smith used those pictures of that deck to inspire her artwork, along with the direction of A.E. Waite, to create the Waite-Smith tarot that would become so popular. So we know that Waite and Smith were both part of occult groups. Rider, the publishing person, came in as also part of the groups and helped them sign on and get the cards published. The problem with this was that during Pamela and A.E. Waite's lifetime, their tarot deck did not gain much traction. It was an elusive thing that a lot of people didn't understand. They printed the first English deck in London in 1908. So tarot itself, the way that we understand it or know it, modern witches today, has really only been around just over 100 years, which is mind-blowing to think. And in the time between 1908 until 1970s, tarot just was not a game for esoteric or occult interactions. People played this game at home, just like with the Ouija board, which was also invented in the 1800s, considered the talking board. And it was more about understanding how there might be a way to communicate with the other side. So in any esoteric type of way, it was really about what limits could we push on our reality and what exists beyond death. So how did the Waite-Smith tarot come back into circulation and gain popularity in the 1970s? Enter a very important man named Stuart Kaplan. He was working in New York and he managed mines up in like Pennsylvania or Virginia or something, but he got a chance to go to Germany. And while he was in Germany, he went to a toy show. And at this toy show, you can see it's leading like a little bouncing ball. At this toy show, he happened upon a very interesting set of cards. Now, it was not the Waite-Smith card deck, but it was a type of tarot card that was in German. He eventually asked if he could take those cards and resell them in the US for a small profit. He got the okay on that and brought the cards back and negotiated getting them into bookstores in several places in the US. With success on that, just 3 years later, when he found the Waite-Smith tarot, he actually contacted the company in London that still held the rights for them, because that's where they were first published, and he contacted A.E. Waite's only surviving heir, his daughter named Sybil, and asked if he could bring them back into production because the company in London was no longer producing them. They were not in print at that time. With the blessing of the family, Sybil, A.E. Waite's daughter, he brought the cards back to America and started having them printed and being sold in these same bookstores alongside the other decks that he brought in, which included things that were Egyptian, German, and from other areas around the world. So there weren't just these, there wasn't just one card deck that was out. There were many card decks, but they were in other languages and their pictures did not show modern living. When Pamela and A.E. Waite designed the cards off of the Sola Busca deck, the Sola Busca deck had so many religious references, and now with Pamela and A.E. Waite being occultists, they changed some of those images. They took out something that looked like a pope and put out something that was the Hierophant. So if you get, I'm going to link it below, but take a look at those cards, and if you have a set of Rider-Waite, or if you look it up on the internet, the Rider-Waite-Smith Tarot, you will see how similar these patterns and drawings are, these pictures of lifestyle and things that were happening and what stuff might be important to mean. And with A.E. Waite, so A.E. Waite is the one who came up with what the cards should mean. He also changed some of the order of the cards. The one that I really remember is he changed the trump cards, which is our major arcana, to match zodiac symbols. So as they were creating this deck, they brought it even more in line with using the zodiac symbols that can associate with the cards better. And I want to say that it was strength and justice, because justice is Libra and strength is Leo, pretty sure. But that was just one of the ways that they changed the Sola Busca deck to fit the modern world. Key point here. You can see that other people have gone through and changed a system that was used by ancients before into something that was more useful for them now. And this is such a big part of what I think modern witchcraft really is. It is not about just honoring the ancient ways. Yes, honor them, do the things that you can do that are ancient, but it's also about evolving into the modern and future ways that's better for yourself, the planet, your community, animals, whatever it is, but evolving that into something that's more useful for you. So if you ever get stuck thinking that you need to follow the past and what others have done and fall in line with that, break free from that thought right now, because you are learning today that A.E. Waite and Pamela Coleman Smith absolutely changed how tarot was going to be seen for the foreseeable future. Their deck is the deck that most other decks are built off of. That's a lot of decking around. Another great fact or insight, in case you didn't know, the Rider-Waite-Smith Tarot, which, if you can tell, I'm still having a hard time saying all those words together, but the Rider-Waite-Smith Tarot deck is actually produced by Kaplan's company called U.S. Games, and they sell hundreds. The last time I was on the site, there were like 200 different types of tarot cards alone on his site, and he's actually made it a point to publish and refresh all types of decks to give everybody a chance to publish what feels right to them. It's never gone out of publishing, out of print, since he started printing it in the 70s. That tells you how important this deck has become to mainstream culture, even way back then. I mean, I was born in 81, so this was happening 10 years before I was born, and was starting to create that ripple of people wanting to get into their consciousness, wanting to understand esoteric ideas, occultism, and really getting out of the fear factor. I hope that you all found this video super interesting. I love researching things like this and then being able to bring it to you in a way that is hopefully understandable. And I will have some links in the description to send you to web pages that I've read that are credible, including like the Smithsonian. Lots of people have written about this because it is part of our, I don't know if you could say ancient, it's 1400s, part of our long forgotten history that is now come into the modern day. And we've even changed it even more as we bring on new cards, people who are creating new decks, new meanings, new insights, new ways to look at things. It's all about that self-reflection and how do we get better at being who we are, becoming our truest, highest selves, and helping each other exist here harmoniously. For the end of video spiel, If you like this video, awesome, thank you, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like this, please hit the subscribe button. I'll see you guys next time.